Over on Fox News, Democratic Congressman Seth Moulton said the quiet part out loud that we're not just at war to support Ukraine, but to beat Russia in a proxy war. Let's watch.
I only have 10 seconds left for each of you, if you could. But if they wrap this in the Senate with a Ukraine funding and a COVID funding, you guys okay with that, Congressman Moulton?
Look, I'm going to support it because it's the right thing to do for Ukraine. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of politics involved, and there will be domestic debates here at home about other policies and whatnot. But at the end of the day, we've got to realize we're at war. And we're not just at war to support the Ukrainians. We're fundamentally at war, although it's somewhat through a proxy, with Russia, and it's important that we win.
I mean, that's just a fundamentally different position than the administration has led up until, I guess, more recently, the American people to believe, right? The American people, I think, you know, they obviously, we want to help Ukraine. And I've even said, if Putin, this is his downfall because of this, so be it. I don't care. He's a terrible autocratic leader. But if our policy is to work until he is defeated, this will be a military effort we could be in for years or longer. And are the American people actually prepared for that? Do they know what they're getting into? In moments like this, people like Congressman Moulton will admit it, but Biden hasn't really admitted it. If that is his goal, it's not clear, and it's not being presented to the American people as such.
You know, I don't know if he's aware of it, but he just absolutely validated the claims of Lavrov and Putin that they've been telling everybody that the U.S. and NATO is in a proxy war with Russia, which all of our officials had denied. And now here he is actually repeating the very statements of our, of the Russian leaders. And that's not helpful, because you're absolutely right. The American people have not signed up to go into war with Russia in any capacity. If they get hurt in the process, if Russia gets hurt, I agree with you. Nobody's going to shed any tears on that. But you play a dangerous game when you start moving down a path that you openly say you're at war with somebody, proxy or otherwise, that could easily escalate. Because why is the other side going to just sit passively by and do nothing? They're going to engage likewise in proxy activities against the United States. So that welcomes enemy activity against the United States, and that's not helpful. And I underscore that this is not going to turn the tide in the war against Ukraine. We need to be seeking a diplomatic solution to help Ukraine and to prevent our country from possibly getting sucked into a war.
Yeah, it seems obvious, but it's worth noting again that Russia is a nuclear power. And when we're talking about fighting until a war with Russia is over, there's only one real way that ends, which is why we had a Cold War for decades, because of the understanding of what a hot war leads to. And, we've just been through the last 20 years of war in this country that was largely so unpopular because people felt that we entered it without the proper level of congressional understanding and approval, without the buy-in from the people of the country, the way that has historically been supposed to be the way that these things play out. And the idea of sneaking in backdoor through a proxy war like this after the events of 2014, which have gone largely uncovered in the mainstream media, and now is a dispiriting kind of repeat of history. I want to give you a final word, Colonel.
Yeah, and that is a really important point, because only the U.S. Congress can take America to war. And that means they have to declare war. The U.S. Constitution is unambiguous on that, and they have to do that in support of the American people. If you get into a situation where you just declare a statement of individuals and you start getting into a proxy war that could suck America in, and we actually get attacked in the process, now there's no chance to do anything. If we get attacked, now that we don't have a choice, but we have to respond if we get attacked physically. And all that is because we're just playing a dangerous, foolish game, but trying to move around the edges of it. And before that happens, the American people need to have a chance to have their opinion heard, and Congress has to take action, or this doesn't even need to go in the proxy war. This is something that's a problem that needs to get fixed.